y'all, I am tired and I'm not even doing the challenges. Y'all are doing them, so I know if I'm tired, y'all are tired. But we're gonna keep moving this along because we are almost done and I don't want you to give up. So we are on day 25 of the Guided Career Challenge and we are celebrating the September surge and we're moving you closer to a career that aligns with your passions and purpose. So yesterday I had you write down where you want to be in the short term and in the long term. I hope you did the assignment because we're going to be following up on it today. So today we're going to focus on documenting exactly how you're going to achieve your short term and long term goals because having an action plan is always better. If you just write it down and just leave it as is, it's like a dream, a hope, a wish, an idea. But there's no guarantee that you'll start taking the necessary steps that you need to take to get you to where you want to be. So that's the whole goal today. I'm having you set aside some time to actually write down the action steps. So I want you to break your goals down into actionable steps with deadlines. Put a date, put a time, do whatever you need to do to make it official. Um, and I want you to consider focusing on the next couple of months. So, what can you be doing to get you closer to your goals by early 2024? Ugh, I know. I'm talking about 2024. It's only September. But yeah, don't freak out. Just take it a little bit slow. Set a timer if you need to. Put on some like relaxing music. I might leave like some links or something that you can check out if you need some like music to soothe you while you do this. Um, but yeah, this is a super easy peasy challenge. Not really. It's not that easy. Sorry. I didn't want to downplay the amount of things that you're about to have to think about to get it onto the page. But yes, I'm just saying it's super quick for me to tell you what it is to do. So this is very, very short. I'm not going to prolong this. As always, DM me questions, thoughts, self discoveries, and stories. Meet me in the DMs. Let me know if you have anything for me to answer or anything. And I will just see you tomorrow. Woo, we are on day 26. How excited are you? Only a couple more days left of this challenge. And I really hope that you've learned a lot about yourself and about the career path that you are setting yourself up for. So, today, oh, before I get started, wait, I got to always do my little pep talk. So, of course, we're celebrating the September surge. Hopefully, you've gotten a few interviews, you've expanded your network, and it's leading you towards the job that you desire. But that's the whole purpose of this challenge, just to move you a little bit closer and a little bit further down the career path that you have set for yourself and that you say aligns with your passions and purpose. So, got that out of the way. Today we're going to focus a bit on wellness. And like I kind of started that a little bit yesterday by like giving you that mood music to journal to. So today is like we're adding on to that basically. So today I want you to think about no, let me scratch that. I don't want you to do any thinking. I want you to just do it. Today I want you to develop a new daily routine. So consider adding an activity that allows you to nourish your body, such as eating a well balanced breakfast. I'm really talking to myself because sometimes I forget. So, yes, that's number one. Then I want you to add an activity that allows you to learn something new. So, whether that's reading a book, listening to a podcast, watching a video, reading a newsletter, do something at the top of the day. And it doesn't have to relate to your industry at all or the job that you want to do. Just do something at the top of the day that teaches you something new. The next thing that I want you to add to your new daily routine is something that gets your blood moving and flowing. So this could be super easy. This could be like yoga in the morning or like stretching in the morning, or just like walking around the block or walking to the mailbox to get your mail, like just something to move. And then last but not least, I want you to find one thing that allows you to relax before starting your day in the morning. So that could be, once again, yoga that like knocks out a few things off the list. That could be meditating, that could be stretching, just something that like relaxes you basically. It can be journaling as well, something. But I want this routine to be a morning routine. I know people talk about morning routines all the time and they're like normally really extreme, but the things that I've laid out today are fairly simple and they're just very approachable and they're good for you as you continue down this path of becoming the person that I know you can be. So, easy peasy, right? Today is very easy, very relaxing, very wellness focused, and making sure you're like being the best person that you can be. And if you want bonus points, and honestly, I'm talking to myself when I say this, try to aim to get 8 hours of sleep every single night. That's your bonus points. So that when you wake up, you have the energy to actually do all of these things that I've laid out today in your challenge. Um, but it's early enough for you to get started. So I want you to get started on these things. Let me know what your favorite thing is or what you choose to do, especially if you're learning something like whatever you choose to learn, send it to me too, because I want to learn. And whatever you're eating too, I like to eat. So send me like your meal, like a picture or something, and like maybe I can try to recreate it because I never know what I want to eat, basically. So yeah, I'm going down a rabbit hole. So I'm gonna leave you with this. And of course, you can always DM me with questions, comments, thoughts, self discoveries, and stories. And about this challenge, like anything about the challenge, please DM me. I want to know how it's going for you. And I'm gonna let you go because I'm tired of talking right now. All right, so bye. I'll see you again tomorrow. Oh my gosh, getting closer and closer to the end of the month and the end of this 30-day challenge. But I'm so excited for you, like I say every single day, because we have been celebrating the September surge. All these companies are hiring and they are opening their doors to new candidates, which is very exciting. But we're also moving you closer towards a career path that aligns with your passions and purpose and your interests and your mission. And I'm just super excited for you. So, we are on day 27 of this guided 30-day career challenge. And today it's all about updating your professional materials and your branding. So of course, you might be way ahead of me. Like you're like, I got this. I didn't need to wait for you to challenge me to do this. I did it already. But if you have not, I want you to focus on revamping your resume today to spotlight all the new skills that you've been working on and the projects that you've been working on. It's super duper important for you to start moving that old stuff off your resume and moving the new stuff onto your resume so that it best represents the roles in the industry that you are moving closer to. So here's a tip. I always like to give this tip because people are always like, okay, I want to do this job, but like I don't have an actual job or a real, I'm doing like quotation marks, you can't see me, I don't have any real experience in this area, so like what do I put on my resume? I always tell people to put like a freelance role or a consultant role at the very top of their resume that lists the exact title that they want or that they have been applying to. And then under that, they just start listing, don't like literally list, but like do like actionable resume bullet points. And if you need examples of actionable resume bullet points, I will leave resources for you to look through. And that page that I leave will also help you craft your resume bullet points. It has like a little resume bullet point generator for you. So I will leave that so that it's easier for you to get a sense for what your resume bullet points should be saying. But like, put a freelance position or a consulting position, make up the company's name, like put it in your name, or like just do a random name that like is relevant and professional and not inappropriate or anything. And then just start highlighting all the skills you've gained. Like if you've been working with small businesses, those food trucks that I told you to reach out to, you can say increased customer engagement by 20% in less than 30 days. Like, oh my gosh, somebody was like, you did what in 30 days? In less than 30 days? We need help doing that too. Like, you can just go wild under your freelance position because you've just been out in the streets doing what you had to do to prove that you know what you're doing, basically. So I really enjoy having freelance positions and consultant positions, and that's what you need to put at the top of your resume. And that's your experience for the field that you're entering into. And then I want you to take a look at some of your older resumes. How do you make it a little bit more relevant? Not your older resume, your older work history, your old work history. How do you make it a little bit more relevant to where you're entering right now? So like, say that you worked like in the field as I don't know, like you were mowing lawns or something, but you want to move into like marketing. You can't say that you were mowing lawns when you want to work in marketing. You have to say something like, ensured 100% satisfaction daily, managed or you can, or this is hard coming off at the top of my head. I got to think about this a little bit, but you can say something about like customer satisfaction, or marketed your services to successfully marketed my services to 100 plus. I'm being very dramatic, but what if you put flyers in neighborhoods, mailboxes, and on cars in a neighborhood that has like 100 houses? Then you would say something like, I successfully, don't put I, sorry, never use I statements on a resume. Say successfully marketed to 100 plus clients in just 10 hours. Like you can, however long you were out there putting flyers in their mailboxes and on their doors and stuff, you can say in like 5 hours or something. And you can say something like resulted in a 40% booking rate or something like that. So like, say you put 100 flyers out in the neighborhood, and then like do your math, like don't be making up numbers, but do your math and say like a certain number of people called you back. You just take that number, divide it by 100, and that's your success rate from your marketing initiatives. And that is considered guerrilla marketing. So you can say use guerrilla marketing tactics to successfully market to 100 plus prospects, which are people who might be interested in your services, and resulted in a success rate of 50% booking. Oh my God, look at that. See how I just did that? That is how strong your bullet points need to be when you're talking about literally cutting grass when you actually want to work in marketing. Like that's the type of stuff that you have to do. Like you have to finesse the crap out of your resume so that people will be like, oh my gosh, we need this rock star on our team. Like we can't even get people to click on our link. How did they get 100? Well, how did they get 50 people to sign up for their services in just 2 hours or something like that? Like people are self-centered, businesses included, and they just want what you got. Like they want what you have. They want your juice. They want your knowledge. They want to soak it all in. So like your resume is a document where you do all of that. You come up with all the punches. Your best stuff is on your resume. And like once you lay it out and you make it clear like what you can do and what you can bring to the team or the company, then like you're like set. All you got to do is show up to the interview and have that same amount of confidence, and that's how you land jobs, honestly. Like the people who are like walking around here and being like very delulu, like Like, they are just on top of the world. They have all of the confidence in the world. They make it very far in this life just because they have all of that confidence. And I want you to also have that confidence. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you do what you do. Today is a very special day because you're walking into your new self officially with your professional documents. And you got this. Like, DM me if you have any questions. If you want me to review your resume, I'll waive my fee. I'll do a quick once over and look at your resume. And then I will give you like one tip that I see that you need to update. I may be like, I think you need to go back to the drawing board. It's not giving me enough oomph. It's not giving me enough but yes, I will not be rewriting any resumes unless a fee is involved. I got to make that clear. I love everyone, but like I also love my time. So yes, that's a thing, but I'm going to let you go. Just feel free to message me, DM me, any questions, thoughts, stories, self-discoveries that you've made, anything you've learned over these past 26 days, now 27. And I will meet you right back here tomorrow for your next challenge. See ya. Well, look at here. We are on day 28. And of course, once again, I am proud of you for making it this far. If you don't already know, we are celebrating the September surge and moving you closer towards a career that aligns with your passions and purpose. And I really hope that this challenge has been a success for you, that you feel a little bit more inspired and prepared to enter into the space that you are excited to enter into. So I'm excited for you. I don't want to talk too much, but we're going to get started, and here's your challenge. So for day 28, I want you to go ahead and start thinking about how to optimize your LinkedIn profile to showcase your new skills and projects. And this should be a little easy because yesterday you updated your resume. And that's normally step one. A lot of people like to say that LinkedIn is like a living resume. That's how I like to classify it. I like to classify it as a living resume, as a huge billboard, as a statement, as a portfolio, anything and everything that I do that pertains to the direction that I want to move in, I put it on my LinkedIn. And I'm also someone who's not afraid to shift and contort my job titles. I'm not afraid to change the language to make it sound a little bit closer to what I want to do, and in the direction that I want to move in. And I'm saying all of this because it's really important to do so. LinkedIn kind of works like a Google search, where depending on the keywords that you use, the skills that you use, all the things that you actually put on your profile, people start to see that and you start to show up in their search results for certain things. So it's really, really important to be strategic about how you're naming your job titles, what's in the description, what kind of projects you're putting in there, what kind of volunteer organizations and roles you say that you do. All of the stuff is super important. And I know this is a lot to keep up with and keep track with. So I'm going to leave a few resources for you on the resource page that I have linked in this description of this episode. And I'll do a few things. I have one document, like one article that just goes through the basics of what your LinkedIn needs to look like in order for you to feel prepared and set up to put your best foot forward, basically. And then there's another article that I wrote, and it's specifically about little optimization things that you can do. I want you to first work on the basics if you don't have the basics down. and set for yourself. And then that's when you explore this optimization article that I'm going to leave. And then I'll even put a bonus article in there. I wrote another article about how to use LinkedIn to find your, I'm going to use the word dream. I know a lot of people don't dream of work, but for purposes of someone reaching a goal, I'm going to use the word dream. So basically, I wrote an article about how to find your dream company, your dream mentor, and your dream role using LinkedIn. And I also will link that on the resource page that you can find in the description. But honestly, I'm a LinkedIn queen, and I'm always on it. So I'm always finding little hacks and tricks that you can use to sort of stand out on LinkedIn in your desired industry and field, and with your community that you're looking to attract and engage with. So I will be sure to leave all of those resources so that you have them, and that you can use them and lean on them to update your LinkedIn profile, and to start showing up a little bit better than you have before on LinkedIn, if that is your goal. But obviously, I'm going to let you go because this is a lot for you to dive into. But of course, you can always reach out to me with any questions, share some thoughts, some self discoveries, or stories. And I want you to make sure to stay tuned for tomorrow. Don't give up now. You've come so far. Once again, I'm proud of you. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye. I'm extremely excited that you made it to day 29. Yay! So, of course, you know where you are by now. The Guided Career Challenge. It was 30 days. You're on day 29. We're celebrating the September surge. And hopefully, you've gotten super duper close to where you want to be in your career. And hopefully, it's aligning with your passion and purpose. So, we're going to take it a bit easy today, and this is not even going to be like a long audio either because it's an easy peasy day. So basically, today's challenge is for you to practice telling your new career story. Like, you have all the pieces that you need. You've talked to all the people that you wanted to talk to. You even shadowed some people. You have a portfolio that you know is fire. You've been working with small business owners. You've just been doing the things that you need to do and putting in the work to step into your new career and your new journey. So I'm super proud of you, and I'm so glad that you decided to stick with this challenge because you're 100% closer to where you want to be. So yes, so that's the challenge. Practice your new career story. It should be easy for you to now pitch and give the rundown of who you are, what you do, what your mission is. You have projects that you can show off. So if someone's like, oh my gosh, you sound like you're amazing. Like, we need someone like you on our team. Do you have work to show? You're like, why, yes, I do. You give them the link. You can even create a QR code. You can do whatever you need to do to make it easy for them to view your work and what you've been working on. And then you've done like your strengths and weaknesses test that I had you take a few weeks ago. So now you can literally even give people the rundown on like what your strengths and weaknesses are if they ask you, because when you're interviewing, people tend to ask you that question a lot. Like I mentioned before, they really want to know that they're not bringing any drama into their team, and sometimes they still get it wrong. But like I mentioned before, not saying that you are drama filled, just saying that it's very important to know what your strengths are and your weaknesses are, and find work environments that complement your strengths, and don't agitate your weaknesses, because we don't want you being miserable in a job or in an environment or at a company, right? So, yes, I'm super excited for you. And I'm going to leave a resource because I have this theory, not really a theory, it's literally legit, but like I'm going to just label it as a theory. I have this saying where I'm like, there are like 4 different ways that you can tell your story during your job search. Um, A lot of times it's your work ethic story, like how you work. That's where your strengths and weaknesses come into play. The next one is like your experience, telling your work experience in a way that people like engage with it and they're like, oh my gosh, you've done so much. I can see how you would be beneficial to this team or my company, all of those things. The next way that people tell their story during their job search is by telling their brand story. That's more of like your elevator pitch or your sales pitch and like your mission statement. That's where those pieces come into play. And then last but not least, telling like your personal story. So like I had you purge your LinkedIn and all of that, like clearing the path for like a personal story that you like and a community that you like is very, very important. So being intentional about the people that you talk to in your network, being intentional about the people that you consume, like their content, the things that you consume, all of that contributes to like your personal story, what you believe, who you are, and all of the things. And I honestly have given you all the tools during this challenge to help you tell better stories during your job search and to honestly be a well-rounded person in general. You know so much more than you did when you first started. So like I keep saying, I'm very proud of you. I will leave these resources so that you know to follow up and engage with them. And of course, you can always DM me. You can reach out. You can let me know how you've been, what you've been working on, and get excited. One more day in the challenge, you come very, very far. You have all the confidence in the world, I'm sure, because you know exactly who you are, where you are headed in your career. And yeah, let's just keep this thing going. I'm super excited for you. See you tomorrow. Bye. OMG, last day, best day. Are you excited? Woo! All right. So, by now, you know that you have been doing the 30-day guided career challenge, and we have officially finished celebrating the September surge. Like, this is the very last day of September, and I'm so excited for you. Of course, you know that the September surge is when all the companies are opening up their wallets and their doors for new candidates. And hopefully you've had some wonderful interactions with some companies and some professionals. You've expanded your network. You have new portfolio projects to show off. You know a little bit more about who you are as a person and how you work with your strengths and weaknesses. It's just a very good day right now. Pat yourself on the back. You have come very, very far and you got this. Like, you got this. Um, and hopefully, you know exactly the career path that you are on that sets you to accomplish all your goals, your purpose, your passion, your mission. So like just pat yourself on the back, give yourself a round of applause because you've literally made it. Today is the final day of the challenge. So here we go. Challenge for day 30. So today's challenge will be an easy one because like you've already worked very, very hard and I don't really want to be giving you anything else that's super hard. So by now you've probably sent out a few job applications for the new role that you've been actively seeking. Um, and I want you to take some time to start to practice your interviewing skills. Like by now you should be a little bit more flexible and a little bit more loosey goosey because you've been like talking to people, like you've been talking to other professionals, you've been job shadowing, you've signed up to lunch club like I mentioned before. If you haven't signed up to lunch club, definitely give it a chance and a shot. It's a really good way to expand your network, meet new people, and get out of your comfort zone a little bit and practicing your story. Like yesterday, I had you figure out how to tell your story a little bit better. So those are all ways that you can practice telling your story out loud. It's one thing to write it down, but when you do it out loud, it's a different thing. So I have faith in you. That is what your goal is today, and your challenge is to practice how you're telling your story. And I'm going to give you a few resources. I'm going to give you a resource on how to practice answering popular interview questions. You can even kind of practice this when you're like having these coffee chats or like conversation, networking conversations. Like, don't be very robotic with your structure, but like try to drop some hints of like things that you can do and what you do in your industry and all of that. And that gives you some ammunition and some practice when you're actually going into an interview. Um, and then I want you to do some research on the teams and companies that you're interviewing with before you actually step into those interviews. I'm guilty of this sometimes too. I'm like, I've been applying to all these places and like, I really don't have time to be like sitting here doing all this research on every single company. I feel you, but like for the teams that you really, really want to work for, or the companies that you want to work for, it's very important that you do some like digging to make sure you don't run into any red flags, because when someone gives you a job or they give you an offer, you have very little time before you accept that job or offer a lot of times. And then like once you accept it, you're just like catapulted onto the team. Someone was like, when you're new to a team, it feels like you're a new character in season 5 of a show. That's literally how it feels. So like I really want you to do some researching on the team and the company before you say yes and before you're presented with the offer. So I'm also going to leave a resource for you that's like a very small document that like walks you through some of the questions you should be asking and thinking about when you're interviewing with teams. Um, then I'm going to drop another resource called Interview the Interviewer. And that's just basically you're grilling that interviewer. Just like you're in an interview, they're in an interview. Like, if they say something that you don't like and it's like red flags, then you know that like that's not the manager for you, that's not the company for you, and that's not the team for you. You have to be very unwavering in this job market, to make sure that you are not falling for anything, because these companies are super wild. Yeah. um and then another resource I'm going to give you is some more career clarity questions to help you during your job hunt. And you can continue to return to these questions if you ever need to lean on them. But I think it's really helpful for you to continue to career journal a little bit and get clarity about what you want and where you want to go, what type of lifestyle you want to have, and things like that as it relates to your career. And then last but not least, I have a database and I want you to explore this database. So this database is a database of it's full of like advice from other candidates who have gone through different processes with companies like Google and Warner Media, now Warner Bros. Discovery, and like Morning Brew, like these like companies that are a little bit more popular. I've been collecting insights from candidates who have gone through the interview process with these bigger name companies, and I solicited some advice from them. So like I asked them specific questions about like their experience with the company, how the team diversity was, what the salary was that they offered, any benefits. I asked them if they had any assignments or projects that they had to work on during the interview process. Like, I'm trying to get down to the bottom of it. I am a hacker at heart. I'm a career strategist, and I always want candidates to win. Like, the candidates are normally like the smaller guys or the small fries in the interview process. So I want to do everything that I can to make it as easy as possible for them, and to make sure that when they're walking into interviews that they have everything that they need in order to succeed. So with that being said, I'm going to leave that resource as well. So you can click on it, you can click through it, you can start to read some of the interview questions that other people have gotten during their interviews. And if you've been interviewing with some companies, they don't have to be big name companies, they can be any company under the sun. Please also put your experience in my job interview database so that you can help other candidates be successful and set them up when they're walking into a new situation as well. Like I said, congratulations. You have made it super far. Your prize is literally all these extra resources that I've just given you to prepare you to step into your new career path. And I want to make sure that you're super duper prepared when you walk into these interviews and that you know what you're talking about because you've gone through this entire thing. You know what you're doing. So don't doubt yourself for a second. You got this. Follow me on LinkedIn. I'll leave that link. I will continue to post super helpful career tips and things. And keep your eyes close to what I post because I really enjoy helping people figure out what it is the heck that they want to do. So I have some really cool career strategy stuff coming up that I can't wait to share with people. And I'm so excited that you're now a part of my little community on the internet. You can always find more career things. I've been blogging about career stuff for 4 years. Wow, that's a very long time. But I started off doing this just by talking about my own personal journeys and things that I saw. And like I mentioned before, the professional is normally the small fry in a company. So like I wanted to figure out how to hack it and I wanted to make sure that like people who were coming after me understood the politics of the corporate world and had all the resources that they needed to be successful in their careers. And I'm still doing that and it's super cool, super fun. There's so many new things coming out all the time that I can continue to talk about and share. So yes, continue to follow me on LinkedIn. Go to breakroombuddha.com to continue to read about career development stuff and get tips and like super comprehensive breakdowns on how to use things like LinkedIn and how to use some of these other tools that I've mentioned during this 30-day challenge. And I think you're good. Like, don't worry. You have a network now. Leverage your network. If you don't have a job right now, leverage that network. Continue to do those coffee chats. Continue to work on your portfolio. Continue to reach out to small businesses. Charge these small businesses. Don't do work for free. Like you've literally reached 30 days on this challenge. So you are good. You're set. You know what you're doing at this point. Continue to do your courses, do YouTube University, do whatever you need to do to prepare yourself to be successful in the new career path that you set for yourself and in the new role that you are about to enter. I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. Reach out anytime, and I will see you later. This will not be the end. So, bye.